lot of my music on my first album tells the story of being an Iraqi-American kid. Parents from Iraq, you were born in America, and I tried to put that in my music. And one of my songs is actually called Open for Business, which is the name of my first album as well.
Yo, and I'm open for business. Just another day to put food on the dishes. And that's a surveillance as my witness. Anybody who wanted with Timz.
I don't know if I would be able to do what my parents did. You know, they come from a country, nothing like America. They come from Iraq to the United States. They don't know any English when they get here. 20, 30 years later, it's time for me and my brother and my sister to kind of take the torch and kind of say, okay, you know, you guys did enough for us. It's time to give back to you.
Dear Mr. George Bush, why do you insist to make a fool of us? For over 200 years, we stood for what's good, now we despised by peers.
You know, in America, we're blessed to be in a country where you can speak your mind and even disagree with the government and put it in a song and put it on the internet. And so that's kind of the disconnect where my father and myself had, and it's like, no, Dad, you know, like, this is okay in America, and it's what we're supposed to do. This is how it works here. To make change, we have the freedom of speech to come out and say what we feel. Alvin is my manager. He's been with me since day one.
I was best friends with his older brother. He came to me one day and said, hey, I recorded a CD. And I had no idea that he was doing music, and I was interested, and I listened to it, and I noticed right away that his lyrics were great. His subject matter was good. We decided to do it independently because we had no record deals or anything. We'd never been in the music business before. Nobody in our community ever does entertainment or anything like that, so it was all new.
3, and...
Guess who's back? Mr. Iraq, Mr. O, he's the one who did all of that. Mr. Knox Magazine, top 10 rapper. Mr. Independent, who all the labels after. Mr. Documentary, documenting me. I am the newest lion in a long list of history.
It's always been interesting growing up, you know, in America, but where I'm Iraqi-American, and I very much have both sides of me, you know, growing up. At home, it's very traditional, you know, we eat the traditional Iraqi food, you know, the Middle Eastern food, and then I go to American schools. So it's been an interesting blend of cultures, and, you know, I wouldn't trade it for anything because it's made me who I am today. I wanted to bring attention to the issue with refugees having to leave the country, having no place to go, and some of them were fortunate enough to come to the United States. But just because they're in the United States doesn't mean that life is perfect and that great. You know, you still have to work at it and make your mark. So the first verse is about a family who comes over from Iraq, and the dad is struggling to find a job to support his kids. So it goes, they nicknamed him Jiddu, but he was only 45, because it was a miracle that he was alive.
Father of 4, couldn't afford to live his life paralyzed by the perils of war, so he goes to work the same way as before, until he found a note stuck on his car door. It was scribbled in blood saying your kids aren't safe, so they packed up their bags and left the same day. Now he's a refugee in the land of the...
You know, we're in America living just like everybody else, but nobody knows that. So I think we take it upon ourselves to tell people, look, we're not like what you see on TV. We're just like you. We're smart, we're fun, we're successful, and that's what I think why we are so proud to be who we are. You know, we make sure that people know who we are and where we came from.
These people, the refugees and people back home, they grew up with the mentality is you keep your mouth shut. Something you don't like, you don't say it. You know, you have to be quiet. So with music, it's open expression. You can say whatever you want.
Look at the name I created, change, yeah, I made it, but that don't compare to the change that I'm making. The world first started, we the first ones on it. Yeah, I'm trying to put us on the map, isn't it ironic?
Everybody supported me as far as go and do it, and they were so proud that they had somebody who looked like them, who came from the same place on TV, representing for everybody. I'm representing not only for myself, I might have the microphone, it might be my name and my face, but there's a lot of other people who are depending on what I'm saying.
Open for biz, that's the story of my life. I swear to God, they should write a story of my life.